Okay, I'm going to take up the lists classwork number 1. Some of you will be able to get it, some of you may not be able to get it, and that's okay. The important thing is that you try to do it. It's just like you're exercising a muscle, so problem solving. The important thing is that you try to do it, even if you get a couple lines. So do as much as you can, and pause this video if you haven't tried it yet, and try it out for yourself. And as I'm going, you'll see me typing out each line individually and explaining it. And if it jogs your memory and it gives you an idea and you think you can do maybe the next couple lines or the rest of it yourself, pause the video and try to do it yourself, and then go from there. The best thing you can do is watch the video on your computer, on one side of the screen. On the other side of your screen have Visual Studio Code or whatever you're using to program it with, and try to get through it. If you've already done this, that's great. You can fast forward through this and just check to see that your solution is similar to what I have. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but as long as it does the same sort of thing. So I'm going to switch to Visual Studio Code now. This was the program that I had last time. So I'm going to go to Python. Here, this is my Python folder. New file. And what did it ask us to call it? Friendlist.py. So I'm going to go to new file, friendlist.py. That'll create a new program called friendlist.py. I'm going to copy and paste the instructions. And as you can see, I have a hashtag there for my comment. And now I can read it. It says, write a program, makes a list of 5 friends, and then shows all of them in reverse order. Call it friendlist.py, which is what we did. So we can make a list. We can call it friends, and we can just give a list of some people's names. So I'm just some really easy names, because this is a list of strings. Friends' names are strings. They have to be enclosed in double quotes. I'm just making 3-letter names because it's easy for me to type out. So Sue, Bob, Ali, Rob, and we need one other person. How about maybe someone's name is Vim. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it says show them in reverse order. Well, first let's show them in ascending order, so in regular order. So we can use a for loop to do this. So we're using a for loop to step through our list one by one. So for C, you can call this anything. I'll use I this time. So for I in range 0 to, and I could just put 5 here, but I'm going to put len of friends. Just in case we want to make a bigger friend list, we can do that later on. When you press so notice I have 2 brackets at the end here. The first bracket, and Visual Studio Code's great for this, because when you place your cursor at the end of the first bracket, it shows you where it matches up. It matches up with, so at the beginning of the first set of brackets, anyway, it shows you. If you put your cursor near the brackets, it shows you which matches up with which. So we have len. Len has its own set of brackets. For range also has its own set of brackets, the for loop. Okay, so why don't we just do print friends, and well, I'm going to leave it like that to see what happens, because sometime maybe you would try that and see what ends up happening. So we can save our work. Control S is what I like to use. You can also go to File and then Save, or Save As. Just save. And then if you go to Run, click on the Run bug there, and run and debug. It'll save it automatically for you anyway. Make sure to select Python file, and it'll show it down there. And it's just running right now. And it looks like what happened is, by printing friends, it prints out the entire list all at once. Python's one of the few languages that I have used where it lets you get away with this. Or if you try to print the entire list or array is going to be something that you might run into in other languages. Python lets you print the whole list. Other languages won't let you do that. you really have to specify an index. And that's something we want to do too. We want to specify the current index. So we're going to put a square brace here. And we're going to square brace I. And that's the solution for forward direction. If we want to go in the reverse direction, and you can pause at this point and try it and see that it does in fact I'll do it. It actually shows you all of their names in order, starting at the beginning because we start at 0 and it goes till the end. If you want to go in reverse order, we'll have to say, well, start at len of friends, go to 0, and I'm not sure if this is going to work. We may have to do something different here, and step by -1, so we have a second comma there. Let's see what happens. We're going to have to tweak this a bit, I believe. Oops. So it says line 6, print friends of I. There is we go beyond the boundaries of the list. List index out of range. So we're trying to print len of friends, and it doesn't let us do that. So we have, and remember this goes back to a previous video, I think the last video I did, length of a list and the accessible values are two different things. We start accessing a list with location 0. So this list of friends has locations 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The length is 5. So if we use length of friends, it's going to try to access location 5, which doesn't exist. So we can put a -1 there. Now we may still have to tweak it a bit, but let's try running it, and that should get rid of the error for us. So I'm going to go to run. Oh, I could have just selected Python there. Well, let's see. Oh, okay, so run. Oh, so we have to stop it first. Okay, run and debug. And Python file. So it shouldn't give us an error now, but it's only printing out for the last, so it's printing out the last one, the second last one, and so forth, just up until location 1. So remember the way a for loop works. It breaks right away when it reaches the second parameter in the for loop. In this case, it's going to stop when it reaches, as soon as I becomes 0, it exits without printing friend list of I. So let's put a -1 in there. So we want it to go through the body of the loop with the 0 and then exit when it reaches -1. So that's your final result, and just to check it. All right, so bye for now. That's number 1. I'll post another video with number 2 shortly.